them to get is that I want them to get the fact that the perspectives that he has already started talking about the perspectives. We're actually supposed to be going to point number 3. But this is me telling him to revise. Because I want this recorded. I want this kept. So that my people can feed on it properly. The financial position situations can always be shared. Are you getting what I'm saying? And so I want them to pay attention. I want them to get the perspectives that either limits people or expands them financially. That's the goal for me, because once your belief is worked on, the rest is history.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So you heard that, everyone. If you're live right now with us, just go ahead and indicate the location you're watching from in the comment box. I'll be displaying some of you. Go ahead and indicate the location you're watching from at this time. You're welcome to tonight's session. Mr. Solomon, it's such an honor to have you here. And I think just so that we can maximize time, I would like to get right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself and just get right into it, sir.
All right. Thank you. I hope I can be heard clearly.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can, sir.
Great. So my name is Solomon. I've spent a lot of my time here on earth studying about money, how it works, what keeps it, what makes it go away. I've been on the different quantums of the financial space. So I've seen poverty, I've seen some wealth, I've seen a lot of wealth, I've seen everything around it. Now I'm at the 9 figures place. We have a holding business that is over $1 billion, and so I've been a financial advisor. I've done quite a lot. Academically, I have several certifications, like Elisha would say. I have several certifications. So I really can talk about this from a very personal place. So that's who I am. That's who I am. So tonight is not necessarily about me or about what qualifies me to speak about money. I've done financial management for several organizations, several government agencies, both in the country and out of the country. I'm the official financial advisor to the Bayelsa State House of Assembly. So I'm just the money king in one word, in one compound word. I'm just the money king. All right, so Elisha has asked me to get on this, and we already began the conversation around the financial positions that a person can be in. And I mentioned that because you need to know where you are before you can migrate to where you would want to be. You need to know where you are. In fact, what is more important is, how did you get to where you got to? How did you get to where you are now? How did you find yourself in crisis? You know, so we talked about 5 financial positions where a person can be, that a person can be in freedom. I mean, a person can be in crisis, which is a very terrible place to be financially, where your money issues overwhelm you and you don't even know how to go about it. This is the state that people commit suicide, people give up. This is the state where men run away from their families. Financial crisis is not a good place for anybody at all. And lots of people, I dare say in Africa, lots of people are living in financial crisis. Then if you go a step ahead, you move from crisis to instability. Instability is a milder version of crisis. You have more expenses than income. You are unable to meet your expenses totally, but you still have hope. You have the possibility that money can come to you. So you are holding on there, but you also do not have necessary adequate knowledge. You don't know how to navigate out of the place. The only thing you have is hope. You go better. That's the go better place. So you have quite a lot of expenses, but not enough income, and you're not quite sure how to get out of it. Then you move from there to stability. Stability is a place where you have money and you have expenses, and your expenses are not so far away um, from your income. Your income can cater for your expenses. The difference between the expenses and the income is not so far away. You have hope, and you also have a plan. You have knowledge as to how to get out of that mess. That is a place where we say you are financially stable. Then we move from there to financial independence. This is a brilliant place where you want to find yourself. It's a place where your money is not dependent on any economy, not dependent on any circumstance. Whether the government pays or does not pay, you're good. Whether Nigeria is working or otherwise, you're good, because you have monies working for you in different economy. You have income from different sources and different economies. So your income and your financial situation is not dependent. So there are some people who are stable now, they seem to be doing well, but if there is a total shakeup of their local economy or their national economy, for example, they quickly rush back to instability and spiral down back to crisis. But you are in financial independence when your income is not dependent on any one particular economy. So your money comes from Asia, from Dubai. You're doing good because money comes to you from Scotland, England, and all of Europe. And your investments are speaking for you in Africa. Your investments are in oil and gas, telecommunications, and real estate. You have money working for you in different economies, in gold, in silver, in tomatoes, in agriculture, in fertilizer. Your money is ambidextrous. Your money is everywhere, busy for you. This is financial independence. And you move from there to the place where, hey guys, you never have to bother about money again. Never, ever, 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 ever. Your children and their children and their children never have to bother about money because of the structures that you've set on ground. At this point, you are a billionaire status. Your money is feeding 10,000 families and above. That's some great place to be. And that's the place that we all want to be. I'm personally on a study of billionaires right now. Most of the things that I study, if you're not a billionaire, I cannot read the book you're writing. That's my state of mind right now. If you've not touched $1 billion US, I probably will not read from you about wealth, because there is a thinking that the millionaire has and there's a thinking that the billionaire has. They don't think alike because it's a question of scale. The billionaire thinks in hundreds of thousands of people working for him. The millionaire is okay with a little change above average. And so these things are very important in your journey. So we moved from there to looking at the 5 fundamentals, the 5 tools by which you make this analysis, this anatomy, this dissection of the concept of money. Let's assume that money is a cadaver in the medical lab, and we need to dissect it using tools. So the tools that we would use would be purpose, perspectives, priorities, process, and progress. Because anybody wants to tell you anything. All Elisha Mamman has done, everything he has done over the years in trying to move you from where you are to where you ought to be, is him trying to either correct your purpose, give you a brand new purpose, because some people don't even have purpose. They don't even know what they are doing with their lives. Well, that's not some people. Truth, a lot of people don't know what they are doing with their lives. But with the mentorship program, with Winning Mindset as a community, Elisha has been able to help correct people's, align their purpose with what God wants them to do. Then this meeting, for example, is a question of perspectives a lot. The more you listen to this kind of things, the more it corrects your perspectives, the more it shapes how you see life, because how you see life is important. You know, there's somebody who used to work with us, and she left saying, oh, we weren't doing good enough, or I really can't tell the reason why they said she left. But then she went to competition, and the job function she took at competition was very debasing, you know, and people began to wonder what was happening to her. And I smiled and I said, like I said in the last class, poverty is a place, wealth is a place. If you take a poor man and take him to a wealthy place, he will find himself back to poverty. If you take a wealthy man, however, and put him poor, if a truly wealthy person goes broke, in a matter of years, he finds himself back at the wealthy place, because wealth is a place and poverty is a place, and it's your perspectives that tell you whether you live in these places or otherwise. And your priorities show me how you use your resources. Your priorities help me understand your use of resources, because all of us have resources. We have different kinds of assets. People look a lot at tangible assets, but there are some things we call off-balance sheet assets. You know, your balance sheet in accounting, in business, is where you record your assets, the statement of financial position. That's what it's called, yeah? And it just records your assets and your liabilities. And the difference between those two is what we describe as your net worth. So if you have more assets than liabilities, we say that you have a positive, healthy net worth. If you have more liabilities, meaning that if you're owing more than you own, we say that your net worth is negative, and that's not a good thing. So how you use these assets that you have, the ones that are not recorded in the balance sheet that you still have, shows me whether you're a good person with finances or otherwise. And then there's a process to making money. You see, people spend a lot of time learning about the perspectives of money, because really, in the money making process, it's 70 to 80% perspective and 20% process. The process, you can make money from anywhere. In fact, money is in anything at all. There are people who the only thing they do with their lives is buy and sell biros, and they're billionaires in it. There are people who the only thing they do is sell very mundane things, but they make billions of naira in it, billions of dollars. You know, so the question is not a question of the process most of the time. It's usually a matter about the perspectives and your priorities. And I guess that's why Elisha was very concerned about us talking about perspectives. So after that, when your priorities are right and you get the right process using the right perspectives, and you're sure what your purpose is very easy to make progress financially. And I tell people all of the times, seek to make financial progress. Grow gradually, grow over the period, because money comes quickly, money goes quickly. Money comes gradually, it stays forever. Because when money comes gradually, you're learning through the process. So it's usually education, which corrects your perspective. So the quantum, the flow is education, experience, then excess cash. Education first. You get experience by applying, by using through the process. Then you get excess cash. Now, if you get excess cash first, if you seek to blow, like lots of people do, I need to blow now, I need to make it right now. If you seek to blow, you will blow. It's possible to blow. It's possible to hit it quick. Yeah, it is. But what happens is this. When you have excess cash, you will gain education through experience. When you have excess cash and you don't follow the right process, if you don't go through education, experience, and excess cash, if you get excess cash first, what happens is you'll buy experience. Or no, you buy education by experience, and a lot of the times it will be sad experience. So in the last class, I spoke about somebody who, about a year ago now, yeah, he literally controlled over 8 billion naira. Over 8 billion naira. Literally a year ago, the last government in Bielsa. By this government, by this new dispensation, less than a year now. This new government is not a year yet. That man is begging for 10,000 naira to eat. He's needing money for the next meal. And there are several of them like that, because you get excess cash. If you don't have the required education and the right money management experience, you will lose the money quickly. You know how they say a fool and his money are easily parted. So let's quickly look at these things, especially in terms of perspectives, as we drive through. Elisha and Fee, where are the two of you? I thought this was supposed to be a conversation. In Jesus' name, amen. Can I see comments or something? Why am I feeling
Go
like
ahead. We are listening. We are paying so much attention.
that attention is expensive? Oh.
I'm always listening.
The way you're paying.
I'm busy. Go ahead.
Okay, Fee, let me be seeing that people are with me. It's not good that only me will just be here.
All right, Fee, leave me on the screen.
Yeah, thanks. So let's go over these perspectives again briefly. There is this thought about wishes and work. There's this contraction. Contradiction. That's the word. Yeah, that people have. So there are people who wish a lot for money. It's the same I need to blow thinking. They wish that they get money, and I say to them, don't wish for money. Work out money. In fact, there is a little formula that I created over years of study. So it's education planning, earning, saving, investing. Very simple things. You need to get education, you need to learn. So education plus have a plan that works for you, that is customized for you. My plan cannot be your plan because we have differences in ages. I have just 2 kids. You may not have kids at all. So our circumstances are different. My risk appetite is different from yours. So my financial plan cannot necessarily be yours. That's why I usually don't come out to public and say, buy this investment. Even though my company has investment products, I usually don't just jump out and start talking about these things because our financial plans are different. So education, planning, earn some money. Take a job, menial or otherwise. Earn some money. Have some sense. Reduce your pride. Your pride is killing you. Your pride is making you go hungry and go broke. Which is better? A job or you going around town begging? Are you not ashamed? And there's something called dignity of labor. And so earn some money, then save some. And when you earn, you save. When you save, put some money into your financial education because the more financially literate you are, the quicker you can get wealthy. Save, then invest. Very pretty simple thing. Education, learn, you plan, you earn money, you save, you invest. It's basically that. And of all these items, the most important is your financial education. So don't wish for money. Please work for it. Work out your own salvation, your own financial salvation. All right. So then there is this other issue that we raised the other day. It's about convenient saving. No, I said to save. I said that in this wealth equation, in this formula that I just read out, there's saving there. And some people, no, not some people, a lot of people, immediately they hear save, they tune off. Their minds just shut down. They have a mental blockage when you tell them to save. Oga, if you don't save, you can't be wealthy. I'm just going to be plain. I'm going to tell you directly. If you don't save, you cannot be wealthy. Wealth is for people who have mastered money. Now, ruling over money is ruling over the urge to spend. Yes, I understand. The only education I've ever had in your life is the education of spending. Buy me this, buy me this, buy till your name is now Bio. I said that the other time. The only education people have is an education of buying, spending. But that's not the purpose of money, actually. People think that you get money to spend. No. Saving is never going to be convenient. I don't care how much you earn. If you earn 5,000, save 1. Because what 4,000 cannot do for you, 5,000 cannot do it. If you earn 10,000 naira, save 2,000, save 3,000. Just ensure that you are telling yourself mentally, I can master money. So I tell staff members in our businesses that, hey, remind yourself that you don't have money problems. Say to yourself right now, listening to me, I don't have money problems. I have wisdom problem. I have a knowledge problem. I have a discipline problem. Your problem is not a money problem. Your problem is a knowledge problem, it's a discipline problem. I don't have money problems. No, 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 no. What I have is a knowledge problem. I don't know enough yet. Because if you know enough, if you have enough clarity, you'll make amazing money moves. I don't know enough people. I don't know enough. I don't know enough people. I don't know enough opportunities yet. So it's a knowledge problem. Money should be mastered. Immediately you have money come to you and you're quick to spend. You know, some people are like shaky daddies. Now they have this 10,000, they're looking for the next thing to buy, or they always have it. No. Can you please just calm down and ensure that you have some money left? Ensure that you have some money left in your bank account. Oga, 2,000 naira from the 20,000 naira, 5,000 naira from the 30,000 naira that you made as salary, that you earned as salary, will not kill you. In fact, it will make you feel better. It will make you feel better. You've got to save. And there are lots of materials out there. In one of my books, Get All You Can Get, I talk about having an accountability partner, having structures for saving. You need to have structures that ensure that you save. So I have several saving structures. Of course, I have different sources of income. And these different sources of income have saving structures trapped in them. Money from our businesses, my income from our businesses already have saving structures in them. My kids are 5 and 3 now, but I have money saved enough to get them through the university. I'm not very old. I'm not 40 yet. But by the time my kids, there's a 15-year plan for them with consistent saving going on there. I have a certain amount of money that goes into the stock market every month, and it's not change. It's called cost averaging. That's a strategy by which I trade in the stock market. So all this just come from a thinking that not every money should be spent. Some of them, you've got to put it in your DNA that I'm a saver. You've got to put it in your brain cells that says, I don't spend everything. I have an ATM card in my wallet that has money there. That money has been there since. I like the feeling that I am always liquid. There's something liquidity does to your brain. As somebody who's wealthy. No, let me tell you something about wealth. Wealth is not physical cash. Wealth is a state of mind. Liquidity is a proof of wealth. Saving is not going to be convenient. You're the one who's going to ensure that you save. Your proof of mastery of money is liquidity. Your proof of mastery of money is you have money's working for you. Money cannot work for you if you don't put it aside first. They say everybody needs 2 jobs. 1 job for yourself, 1 job for your money. You don't go to work, but your money goes to work. I have monies working for me in different economies of the world, in different industries of different economies of the world, because I've learned how to cage money, keep it in first, and then send it on an errand. How many of your monies have you sent on errands? You cannot even keep them at home. So saving is how you keep money. and you say, this money where I go send you go now. Oh yeah, go buy gold for me. Hey, this money, you there? Oh yeah, wait. I get message where I want send you. Okay, go India. Go stay for telecoms. Tata, they find money. There are errands that needs to be run, monies to be made, but you need money saved first. There's this thing about looking rich, another perspective that we need to correct. You know, so we grew up as young people in the era of fake it till you make it. Great stuff. And so we're bombarded by Balenciaga, Gucci, Ferragamo, Givenchy, and all that. Don't try to look rich without being rich. Being rich is the objective, not looking rich. So one of our businesses is an investment management company. So I have dealings with investors. I'm a chartered global investment analyst. So for several years, I've dealt with wealthy people. I think that affected my mind a lot. Okay, but again, for you to be able to deal effectively with wealthy people, there's a thinking that you also must adopt. So wealthy people are not necessarily particular about what you think, how they look. No, they are more particular about the money working for them. They are more particular about bank balance, balance sheet size, net worth. So if you see images and pictures of the Warren Buffetts of this world, the Jeff Bezos of this world, what's this man's name now? Richard Branson. These guys really don't give a hoot. Have you seen Mark Zuckerberg? Dude was in Lagos. It didn't feel like that was a multi-billionaire in dollars. Looking rich is not the aim, my people. Look good, oh yes. Because looking good affects your confidence. I'm coming to that. But don't spend your life. Don't spend all of your resources wanting to look good and have an empty brain. Because it's your brain that creates the money. Your brain is the seat of creativity. So looking good, looking rich is not the same thing as being rich. We need to be clear on that. Then I spoke about Ponzi investments. Don't try to get rich quick. Don't try to get rich quick. Get rich, but please follow the process. How fast you do that depends on your level of focus. How fast you get wealthy depends on your level of focus. How much knowledge have you stored in? How concentrated are you on the wealth process? Now, I don't care how you choose to make your money, but focus on it. I chose building a financial services institution as my wealth vehicle. And I've not done anything else all my life. I either worked in a bank, stayed in consulting, or do one thing. Young people are too scattered. Young people are too lazy. When I'm done with this webinar, I'm probably going to be studying till morning. And when I mean morning, I mean 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Then I will sleep till maybe 8:30, worst case scenario. And then I'll be back awake and at work, getting things done. There is a process to these things. Nobody builds wealth suddenly. And when I say wealth, I'm not talking income. Like I explained earlier, there's a difference between assets, income, and wealth. Wealth is a constellation of assets. Assets, when it produces, gives income. Loads of people, that's another problem. Loads of people, especially young people, are interested in income. They're not interested in the structure, the building, the machinery, the creation that produces income. You know, I say to people, your state government is an asset. The governor controls the asset called the state government. These workers who work there work for an income. Who is the owner of the assets? The company that pays your salary is an asset. The MD, CEO, chairman of the board owns the asset. The staff who is getting promoted and doing ticky is just interested in income. You've got to be wiser. You've got to understand how these things work. You've got to realize that assets is what you're after, not necessarily income. Waiting they produce the money, not be the money be the issue. Money is just a consequence. Money is a consequence of the incubation of an asset. When there's an intercourse, when creativity meets with an asset, it produces money. What are you focused on? Income or the understanding of how the asset works? I train staff members and colleagues in my company to be entrepreneurs. There are several subsidiaries because I like people who work with me to own a part of the assets, to drive the asset, to learn these things. We're too fixated on money. Money is a result of something that somebody owns. That's why I look at people when they dance around and say, oh, this investment is paying me 25% per annum, per month. This investment is paying me, Oga, think well. What is the investment? What is the investment vehicle? Who is controlling it? Okay, another question, who owns it? Can I be a part of the guys who own it? Can I control the assets? Wealthy people think in terms of control of assets. They don't think about income because they know that income will come if you know how to control the assets. So don't be a moron and be jumping around everything that seems to pay. Hey, no. Regardless of the vehicle that you choose, Forex, cryptocurrency, stock market, real estate, you've got to understand the assets. The mama where they born the pikin where they call money. You've got to be like that. You've got to be wiser than the crowd. That takes me to another thing. It's called crowd mentality. Several years ago, MI did a song called Crowd Mentality. In the investing world, we call it herd mentality. Don't do something because everybody else is doing it. In fact, this is what I say to you. Look at what everybody is doing and do the opposite. Average people like to follow the crowd. It's okay to follow the crowd. So take, for example, the crowd doesn't save. The crowd always believes that money should come quickly. The crowd likes it 25% quickly. The crowd likes it 30% per month. The crowd likes it quick. The crowd likes it greedy. The wealthy people look at what the crowd is doing and do the opposite. You know, there's a law in the stock market that says, I think this was Warren Buffett who says, be greedy when everybody else is pessimistic. Be pessimistic when everybody else is greedy. Always do the opposite of the crowd. In fact, one indication that you are a winner financially is your ability to make your own decisions, your own informed decisions. I'll talk to you quickly about gratuity, pensions, and your family. My guy, your family does not owe you anything. The government doesn't owe you anything. Nobody owes you anything. You need to take responsibility for your finances. So if you're thinking that you can be lousy with your finances and expect that later the government is going to pay a pension, you know, I have this very funny thinking that I've seen amongst people where they want what they call a pensionable job. Are you serious, my guy? So you want to be 60, 65, and be waiting for somebody to still pay you? Really? Is that how you are thinking? You are thinking a pensionable job? Holy blood of God. According to how we say it in Dubai, God of the young boys. Allah damn it. You've got to think better than that. A pensionable job. You're battling for gratuity. The images on TV that you see these days, is it not enough reason for you to think differently? When I grow old, my family will take care of me. When I grow old, my eyes have seen things, man. I know somebody who used to tell me when I go, I don't need you in my life. I don't need you in my life. When I grow old, my pension will pay me. Dude, that thinking don't work. That's something that I grew up listening to. And I said, no, that's not the way to think about it. Pension does not help anybody. You know, ICO Insurance, the group ICO Insurance, they're selling off their pension business. Why are you selling off your pension business? Pension is not so profitable as a business model. I'm saying don't think pension in your game. Think investment that can pay you when you're older. Why don't you think about investments that outweigh all your expenses? I was having a conversation with a client today, and she was talking to me about her kids. One of them is 18-year-old, 19-year-old is going to be chartered very soon, because whilst the child was in the university, he began to enroll for professional courses. So by the time he's graduating in his final year, he will also be a chartered accountant. And I said to her, fantastic. In a couple of more years, you would have your monies working for you directly. I'm saying think ahead and take responsibility for it. I send money on errands. I get money to do the dirty jobs for me. I send money to places where I can't go. Because, hey, I'm not going to always be young. There's got to be a time when I've got to chill. My hair's got to be gray. I've got to have money in abundance. I've got to do the work now. That's how you've got to think. And I don't care how old you are. You know, there are things I wish I began to do earlier. I wish that all the years I was in banking, I did some things faster. I wish that these books here, I bought them earlier and I read them earlier. I wish I had narrowed down quickly. I wish I did not spend time trying to learn a lot of things. Because I know a lot of things. I spent a lot of time studying several things. I wish I had just focused quickly earlier, but I'm grateful that the things that I had focused on now are amazingly productive for me. Take responsibility for your money issues. Sit down now and begin to think. Stop following people and jumping around. You've got to work hard. And I won't lie to you. You've got to grind. Elisha describes it as goals, guts, and grind. You've got to put in the necessary hours. You've got to study. If real estate is the way by which you want to make money, and even in real estate, if it is flipping or developing or being a realtor is the way. So those are three different methods now. You can be a flipper, buying and selling of properties, or developing, or being a realtor, just being an agent. Whatever method it is that you want to do, you've got to be the king in terms of the knowledge. You've got to put in the work, people. You need to instill that perspective into your head. Let me tell you, even Forex as a wealth vehicle is not fast. Don't deceive yourself. There are levels to these things. There's GS1 knowledge. There is SS3 knowledge. Then there's PhD knowledge. The payment styles are different. Then I'll finally stop at perspectives and say to you, it doesn't matter the background, and there's nothing like good luck anywhere. Good luck follows all of us. We all have our share of good luck. In fact, in the course of the average person's life, it has been proven statistically that we will all get a financial windfall. There's going to be one time in your life where you're going to get bulk money, big, bam. You know, there was a time when MTN paid me about 12 million. Yeah, this was several years ago. It was a windfall. It was a boom. Did it move me? Did it change my financial situation? Was I prepared for it? If you don't prepare, some money is going to come and you're going to lose it. Some money is going to come and you're going to lose it. Let me tell you what I did. By the time our company began to approach 500 million in capitalization, we had gone through. So this was a company that to get the first 200,000 in investment was heavy, and then to get $1 million was a huge issue, and then we crossed 50 million, and we crossed 100 million. By the time we're approaching 500 million, I began to mentally prepare for 1 billion, because your frame of mind determines the amount of money that you can handle. There's a mindset, there's a mind shift, there's a level for every amount of money that you can handle. Little wonder you give somebody who's never seen ₦1 million before, you give them 1 million naira and they pass out, they run mad. I've seen a woman who went to a church, she gave an offering of 50 naira, and the pastor was so upset, or he feigned that he was upset, and he said, "Who came here and put 50 naira in the offering basket? Who is the person that did that kind of thing?" And these two women who had done that came out to the altar and said, "Man of God, we are sorry. You know, yes, this offering, what would they take? Now for building project, what 50 naira go fit do for the building project?" And he was screaming at them, you know, acting, and they kept apologizing. So he said to them, ushers, come and punish this women for me. Punish them for me. People, so the ushers showed up and gave each woman 500,000 each. Then you will know that money is a bastard. These women saw 500,000. One laid down on the ground. One literally passed out, like she fainted. They had to pour water on her to wake her up. The other one was rolling on the ground and she was crying. 500,000, because it was not in their purview. It was not in their purview. And there are a lot of people like that. If you don't prepare for money, you can't handle it when it comes. Possibility is it may come, and you waste it when it does. So because you don't want to waste money when it comes, you need to mentally every day prepare. I'm on this desk where I'm talking to you now. I'm on this desk every night. I'm preparing for the next phase. I'm constantly a student of money. In fact, the name Money King is an instruction to my brain. You're the king of money. You manage money. You handle money. You know what to do with money. Money does not get into your head. You're not carried away by money. You are the king over money. These are the things I say to myself. I have the skills to manage money. I have the skills to keep money. I have the skills to grow money. I can be trusted with billions of dollars. So I give my brain these instructions. I talk to myself. I carry myself in this manner. That's how it works. All right, so that's that about perspectives. There's a lot I want to share, but let's stay with that on perspective so that we can touch on the final three before we run away. So where is Elisha and Fee? As usual, you people have left me alone, so I don't even know what's happening to me now. All good? Here. All correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So
all correct. Just shoot.
All right. So let's look at the priorities. Let's look at priorities. What are the things that you want to spend your resources on? Number one, spend resources. Okay, Grace, I can see you. Thank you so much, Grace Mayaki. Thank you. So what are the things you want to spend your resources on? Because we all have resources. We have investable resources. We all have them. In fact, there are a number of them. I think I wrote them down here. I can pinpoint like 15 offhand. Your courage is a resource that you can invest into yourself. Your business idea, the ideas that, so when a person is starting a business, we talk a lot about the capital that they use to start the business, but we don't talk about the idea that the capital is invested on. Because if that idea does not exist, there will be nothing to put money on. So the idea in itself is an investable resource. Courage is an investable resource. Your contacts is an investable resource. Relationships are investable resources. Oh, you need to understand there's a difference between contacts and relationships. I have John Obidi's contact, or I can get John Obidi's contact, but Elisha Mamman has a relationship with him. I have a relationship with Professor Patu Tome. Some people may just have his contact. So there's a difference. The levels in the relationship, the value that you put in a relationship makes it valuable, makes it possible for you to be able to get money or leverage out of it. So your contacts are valuable, your relationships are valuable, or your skill sets, amazing. In fact, you're paid at the workplace for the skills that you bring to the workplace, not because you wear fine trousers. The reason why you show up in the office is because you've got skills that the employer pays for. So it means that your skills are investable resources. Your employer invests in your skills. He invests salary in your skills to help him solve a problem. Your creativity is a resource that you can invest. Some people are extremely creative. Some people are extremely blockheaded. They don't think, they go like robots. Your loyalty is a resource. Your determination, your persistence is a resource. There's something called courage capital. Your energy is a resource. It's called sweat equity. How much time, how much energy can you put into getting something done? Another way to look at it is commitment. Knowledge. These are resources. Integrity. Oh, integrity is a powerful word. Trust is a powerful word. Trust loves money. Money loves trust. If you can be trusted, money will come to you. If you know how to manage your trust quotient, money will come to you. Yeah, trust quotient, the level at which you can be trusted. We've built an over 1 billion naira company now by the integrity of the name Solomon King and everything that I do. Integrity, trust. So these are all assets that you can invest. These are all resources that you already have. Now, all of these things I have mentioned does not concern money. But these are the things that life gives you that you can grow and develop and exchange. You must understand that money is a game of exchange. Money is a game of exchange of values. Exchange of value, not values now. Exchange of value. I bring value, you bring value, we exchange it using currency called money. So what do you want to invest these resources on? Your priorities. Now we're in the third P, priorities. Priorities show us your usage of resources. I can tell the direction your life is going by looking at your priorities. I can tell whether you'll be wealthy or you'll be broke by your priorities. Your priorities is an indication, is how you use resources that are available to you. So the things I mentioned earlier, these are resources that you have that can be converted to cash. A case in question are your skills, for example. You are hired, when you prepare a CV, you put your skills there. It's your skills on the CV that lets the employer know that, okay, I need this guy in my team because he has these skills. So, guys, what do you spend these resources on? I will say to you first, spend it on your self-esteem. Spend it on self-confidence. Spend it on your competence. Spend time, spend resources to grow your belief system. Be that guy that loves you. If nobody else is going to be crazy about you, be that guy that loves you. Invest in you. Invest in the personnel of you, Jesus Christ. I love Solomon King. As in, I'm telling you, if I was not Solomon King, I would be his #1 fan. I would buy every book he's written. I would do everything he says. The way he walks, I will walk like him. If I was not Solomon King, I will be on his tail. I love Solomon King. I'm crazy about Solomon King. You got to be crazy about you. Oh, don't get me wrong. I like Elisha Mamman. Awesome personality. But nobody can love me like me. So I improve my self-esteem every day. I talk to me every day. I love me every day. Because money does not like people who don't like themselves. Ouch. Did I say that? Yeah, I did. Money does not like people who don't like themselves. Money is like a lady. She goes to the guy that is self-confident, that has content, that is competent. Money goes to somebody who's crazy about himself, who has a healthy self-esteem. That's why I'm grateful to God for the work that Victor Haruna just did now on self-confidence. So invest your resources in making you be the best version of you. You cannot be a wealthy person if you don't like yourself. Don't get me wrong. Don't be mistaken. There are people who don't like themselves. I know several people who think less of themselves, who think that they don't deserve the best of life, who want to stay small, broke, oppressed, and stupid, like Victor calls it. Don't be that person. Say to yourself right now, watching me, if anybody can be wealthy, I will be. I should be. If anybody can be wealthy, I am the one. If anybody should have money on this planet, I should be the one. In fact, I say to people already, I say to them, especially in this country, Nigeria, that we live in, you can be guilty of everything, but ensure that you're not guilty of poverty. You can be broke anywhere else in Nigeria, but ensure that you can be broke anywhere else in the world, but ensure that in Nigeria, you're not broke. Because everything else will ride on you. Electricity will ride on you. Water will ride on you. Merura will ride on you. Megoro will ride on you. You don't want to be broke. Police will ride on you. The system is created to frustrate you to a corner, except you choose not to be poor. And it's a choice in your mind. It's a place that you choose to. How do wealthy people think? So when I talk like this, people say, oh, you're proud. I'm like, excuse me. Can you leave my pride alone? I'm like, this pride has brought me this far. If anybody is going to be wealthy on this planet, I should be the one who's wealthy. I'm entitled to wealth, sir. That's how you talk to you. And then you move on to the next one. You invest in your financial education. How many books on money do you have? How many books on money do you have? Who is talking to you about money? Whose money advice are you taking? Broke people go to other broke people for advice and they end up broker. Usually they turn to broken plates. No. And the thing that even hurts me the most is this: broke people don't like wealthy people. Yet they say it's the wealthy people who are arrogant. No, usually it's the broke person, the poor person who is too arrogant to go and ask the rich man, guy, how do I do this? I need to get out of poverty. I think from experience, from study, the most egoistic people on the planet are the poor people. A poor man and his ego are difficult to separate. A wealthy man knows that he got wealthy by learning, so he keeps learning. A broke man is too broke to understand that he is broke. He just says that he's God that does not want to give him money yet. And then he's always in suspicion of the wealthy man. Don't delude yourself. Spend your resources, your time. Another resource that we have that I did not even mention there was time. Invest your time in learning about money. Who are you following? Who are you following? Who is talking to you? Whose books are you reading? Whose books are you reading? You're reading James Adley Chase. For real? You have not started.
You want to be detective.
I'm trying to understand. So this is how I read. Read razor sharp. Read what? Read razor sharp. I don't read everything. Right now, my focus is on financial services and, more importantly, on alternative investments. So now I'm reading 3 classes of books. My reading is in 3 major areas now. I'm reading on how to grow a world-class company. Our company has different branches with different managers in different locations. So my position as CEO and founder of a global brand forces me to read on how to read and develop knowledge and capacity on how to grow the organization to one that plays in different industries across the world. That in itself is an enormous responsibility. Then I'm reading about selling financial services. So the materials that I read are around sales, but tailored towards financial services. Yes, I'm studying some things about agriculture and some other things because of the businesses that we have our subsidiaries in those places, but I leave the nitty-gritty to the managers of those businesses, the MDs of those businesses. I'm group chief executive, so I have a broader view. So I read holistically on those issues. But I am CEO of the financial services subsidiary, so I also read on selling financial services. Then, as for myself now, I am crazily heavy on alternative investments. There are different classes in investment management, and I'm heavy on alternative investments at the moment. So these are the things I'm reading. I'm not interested in a lot of other things. I might listen for generic knowledge, but I'm reading razor sharp. What are you reading? Uncle, if you want to make money through Forex, don't read anything else again. Spend 3-4 years and read everything you can find on Forex. I see people who want to make money from Forex who just take one broker, maybe FXTM or any of these brokers that are around, and put some money in it and be playing tick, 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 tick. And I'm wondering, that's not how. It is knowledge first. You cannot get knowledge from experience. You use knowledge to create experiences. If not, you will waste time. An experience that you want to create without knowledge would be time wasted. Michael, true that poverty is engraved with ego. Yeah, people who are poor are very proud. Check them out. And they're always very angry. If you see a person who is always angry, check well, he's also very poor. So, focus. Focus and read. Read that thing that you want to be great at. If you choose real estate as your vehicle to wealth, don't read another thing, at least for a while. Or even if you are reading other things, school yourself. School yourself in that game. You know what I say to myself? I say, I want to know about investments to the point where if Brian Tracy meets me, he will say, how is this black boy that is mad like this? How come he knows about money like this? Yeah. I dig deep. Let me tell you something, Elisha. I have professors who call me, professors in finance, who call me to ask me about investing and investment strategy. It's now that I'm in school, it's not that I'm just a PhD scholar. So in the terms of ranking, I'm like a junior to all those professors. But when it comes to the game of investing and investment strategy, they call me. Because I don't study anything. I just explained to you. I'm talking about, I'm studying reading financial, selling financial services. I'm studying how to build a world-class business. I'm learning from Toyota. I'm learning from Amazon. I'm learning from different people. My direct mentor owns a business that is $2 billion. That's the person who mentors me directly. His own financial services business in this country is over $2 billion. So we just crossed a billion naira. So I'm learning. Then I am the guy who is terribly learning razor sharp about different kinds of alternative investments. In fact, on LinkedIn, if you go LinkedIn and try to look up my profile, you will see that I say that I'm an alternative investments buff. I'm a prof in that matter. That is how I have made money so far. Cash flow investments. And like I said, your money is where it is. There are some people who know. Elisha, you were with me in Dubai when I was buying gold. And you saw the education that man was giving us in gold.
Yes, sir.
He knew some things about gold that we don't know. He's lived and ate and drank and slept in gold. So there's money where you want it to be. Your money is where it is. So focus. Don't be doing everything. Today you are doing Forex. Tomorrow there is real estate that is working. You want to do that one. You mad. There's something called mad money. Why do we say a man is mad? A man is mad because he's saying some things that may be correct, but he's saying different things. Him is talking about chemistry, biology. He's talking about architecture and talking about the economy. So he's saying a lot of things, and you're wondering, this guy is mad though. Yeah, that's the way a lot of you behave around finances. You have different school of thought, different people telling you different things. You don't even know what to believe anymore. You don't even know what you're saying. You come across as a madman when you're talking about money. So you don't want to be the mad money person. You want to be the person who's bent on one thing. I tell people that there are different kinds of financial advisors. So there are financial advisors who will come and talk to you, but at the end of the day, they are usually tilting you towards one thing, maybe real estate. Like Grant Cardone, for example. Grant Cardone is a real estate investor. So when he's giving you financial advice, at the end of the day, you will end up with buying land or house or something. There are some people, Robert Kiyosaki is a financial advisor who is an entrepreneur. So by the time he's done talking to and fro, he will tell you about how to build businesses, and he's tilted towards that. There are some other people who are tilted towards the stock market. So by the time they are done telling you to and fro, you will eventually hear that, come and invest in the stock market. So everybody is a master in one area. Andy Tanner, for example, Andy Tanner is the stock market expert for Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki knows a little about the stock market, but he lets Andy Tanner focus largely on stock market investing on his behalf. So you've got to be like that. That's how to make money. You make money by having a pool of advisors. You can't know everything. That's why you need to be congruent. That's what they call in the book 1 Minute Millionaire, they call it congruence. You can harness all the power of the sun and use it to cut something laser sharp by the use of things. I don't want to know about a lot of things, but you see me. I have stockbrokers who work for me. I have realtors who work for me. I have a lawyer on my team. So I have them. I can't come and be giving myself all the hard work. Let me just stay with the things that I have learned. There's this thing about David in the Bible. When he was going to go kill Goliath, Saul was going to give him his own armor. And when David wore Saul's armor, he couldn't move. And he said to him, Baba, no vessel. I better collect these things the way you put for my head. This stone and sling. Now wait till me I learn with this. And a lot of us don't even understand that slinging was a military armory. The way you have archers, the way you have swordsmen, you also had slingers. They were part of the military. Even though David was self-taught by the Holy Ghost in the bush, he was a great slinger. So that is what he mastered. It was through his slinging and the amplification of his slinging that he killed Goliath. David was not just some guy who did something and suddenly God blessed him and he killed Goliath. David had practiced with different kinds. He had experience, he had knowledge, he had experience. So the excess cash that came from the Goliath bounty had to happen. I'm saying to you, which sling is your own sling? And I'm coming there. So spend a lot of time on your financial education. No generic education. Understand the general nature of money. I'm doing a material called The Nature of Money. How does money behave? Who does it follow? Who does it meet? Who does it like? Who does it run away from? Money runs away from poor people. Money runs away from proud people. Money and ego are words and opposites. Ego and ego, they don't go together. They may have the same spelling, but they don't have the same sound. It's word and opposite. Ego and ego, they go differently. There's a way money behaves. There's who money listens to. And money is in the same state. The only thing it does is it changes direction per time. But it's still the same quantity of money in the air that is still there. What you do with your creativity is you just attract new money. You send a signal to the earth, and money picks up that signal and finds you out through your creativity, through your courage, through your exchange of assets that you have. Guys, please plan. Another priority you want to spend time on is planning. Please plan. Sit down and have a financial plan. How do you want to go through it? I've spoken to you about goals before. I told you I have 2 kids. I don't plan on having another one, except ESK does me Ojoro. If she does stuff, I will beg her. I have them planned out. I have my next 10, 15, 20 years planned out. Where I will vacation, what school I want the kids to go to, what car I want to drive next. I have my life planned out. You know, God expects us to plan. He does. Planning is a law of life. You've got to sit down and orchestrate your life. Would your plans always go through? No. But at least your life has a certain direction. Invest in your planning. With financial education, with you focusing on financial education, you are able to plan. You need to learn to earn money, Oga. Your problem is now you are thinking that you cannot work. You are an entrepreneur. You are going around. My friend, would you go and get a job? You're all entrepreneurship. You don't know how to sell. You've not learned selling. The reason why you are hungry and broke is that you cannot sell. You're hungry and you're broke because your ego is eating up your future. Sir, quick advice. Go and get a job. Because what a job does for you is it gives you two things simultaneously. It's amazing what jobs do for us. A job gives you an opportunity to learn and an opportunity to earn. A job gives an opportunity to learn and it gives you an opportunity to earn. There are things that you cannot know except you go under the tutelage of another. There are some things that you cannot ever know except you go and dig where. We say dig where in Warri. Dig where under another person. You know, I had this consultant friend of mine one time who used to boast, I have never worked for anybody in my life. Okay? Sorry, sir. I look back 5 years down the line and he's really never done anything with the life still. Work for somebody. Let people teach you stuff. Learn how to build an organization. Learn how to sell. I've always been a salesman. My first job was, I was a copywriter. My second job was selling. My third job was selling. It was on my third job that I had a master salesman teach me about selling. On the very first day, I was still wearing my NYSC uniform when he took me out. And when we saw the customer, he said, oh, this is my colleague. I said, An area manager called me his colleague. That day, he messed up my self-esteem, wounded my psychology. He dragged me up to his level by calling me his colleague. There were things that I learned by just following his lead. I learned how to build an organization. It's the reason why I'm able to build an organization that has several branches and we're growing big. I had to learn another big organization. There are some things that you need to see how it is done, learn how it is done, understudy some people. You need to work in a structured environment to be able to appreciate structure in your own business. Take lessons. And these things are what a job will do for you. Somebody who's been on a job most times will do well as an entrepreneur. Because there's no building a successful business without understanding the place of structures. And the first thing about structure is obeisance. The first thing about structures is loyalty and the ability to be able to be led. So take a job, my brother. Calm down with this, you're wanting to be an entrepreneur thing. You are probably not even ready yet. If you have a business that's working well, fantastic. But your job, a job that you will take will help you learn. You will learn how these things are done. And it will still put some money in your pocket that you can take from and save, that you can take from and buy a book, that you get better. And take a job, sir. Don't let your pride kill your future. Avoid debt. If you're in debt, get out of it. It will take a while. And because I'm in a hurry, I don't want to dwell on getting out of debt. But please, I beg you, avoid to owe. Some of the things that you're owing for are things that you even don't need. How many shoes can you wear at the same time, sir? You know, you wear only 20% of your shoes 80% of the times. It's the Pareto principle. You wear only 20% of your clothes 80% of the times. There are some clothes that you wear more often than some others. There are some clothes in your wardrobe you've not worn in the last 2 years. True or false? True. No matter how terrible your situation is, you need to understand that you don't do everything that everybody is doing. Don't buy anything on credit. Avoid credit. If you can afford it now, it means that you can afford it now. Wait. Calm down, guy. Calm down. You want to do what everybody else is doing, and now you're broke. Now you're owing. Take it easy. Wait. Elisha, my brother.
Yeah.
Okay, you're still there. I thought you had gone for your other meeting. I know you have a meeting, another meeting later tonight.
No, I sacrificed for today.
Thank you. So I remember when we went to the Apple store in Dubai.
Yeah.
When we see the price, what did I tell you? I said, my brother, make we go.
We can wait.
We go wait. We go buy them after. Your ability to be able to delay gratification. Your ability to be able to delay gratification is a sign that you have mastered money. Delaying gratification is an indication of your money mastery skills. Calm down, guy. You dey see Elisha motor, you dey want drive, you go mad. You dey see Elisha motor, you dey want drive, and that kind of motor, you want drive Porsche, you dey craze. Take it easy. I told the story of how, as a business, we were already over almost 100 million in capitalization, but there was no chair in my sitting room. If you came to visit us, myself and my wife and the kids, you will sit down on the ground. As in, I meant tiles. There was no rug. We just had a small center rug. That center rug is still there. It took a long time before I allowed myself to buy a chair. The car that I drive is 1.2 million naira. When I bought it almost 3 years ago, I'm still driving it. The AC is working fine. Nothing is wrong with that car, so I'm not in a hurry to even change it. I'm just saying that you need to learn to wait. You need to understand that you are the master of money. Money should not be controlling your appetites. Take it easy on yourself. I can drive any car I want to drive. I can eat anywhere. I can live anywhere. I can relocate to any country in the world right now. I will still be a millionaire. Life is in stages. Don't borrow. Don't owe. Don't do more than yourself. No go dey do pass yourself. Yeah, I like that Kizz Daniel song, man. I play it quite a lot because it just borrows me common sense. I'm not saying you should not be audacious. In business, you can be, you should be. But you see, in your personal appetites, cut them down. Cut them. Oga, you are borrowing, you are owing because you want to use a 45K perfume, Oud by Gucci. Really? There is Oud by Frank Oliver, it's 7,000. They are both Oud. And what I even found out, the Oud by Frank Oliver smells stronger than the Oud by Gucci that is 45,000. There's an alternative. Calm down. Wait, oh, no vex. Elisha drive Porsche to the meeting. Solomon King, I drive Hyundai 2006. Hyundai Sonata 2006 to the meeting. Is Elisha wealthier than me? Yes, by your eyes, because he drove a bigger car. But that's not the truth. We can only know by bank balances. You've got to put things in the right perspective. Be careful about who you are trying to impress, who's not moved. There's this saying about people borrowing to impress people who don't care, that would eventually laugh at you when you're broke. Don't try to keep up with people who don't really care about you. It doesn't matter. What they think doesn't really matter. You've got to be comfortable in yourself. Like I said before, I love Solomon King, Jesus Christ. If I wasn't this guy, I'd be nodding for him. I don't care what you think. It's not important to me. You've got to be comfortable in your own skin. Another priority is this. For those of you, because not everybody is at the same level here, if you have a business, if you have assets, please get some insurance. Insure your business, insure your assets, insure your car if you must. Get insurance. These are financial priorities. Insurance saves you a lot of heartaches. One of our businesses got boggled one time, and the guys went away with it. It's a telecom distribution business. So the guys went away with printed recharge materials of like 45 million. We had insurance on the property. There was burglary insurance on the property, and there was CCTV. So it was easy for the insurance people to see that there was real burglary. After making their investigations, they paid me back my 45 million, so I didn't have to lose that money. If I did not have insurance, I would have lost 45 million. I'm talking about this was 2017. Yeah, this is 2020 already. Yes, it was 2017 that this happened, and they paid every dime of it. Our businesses, all of them are insured. Insurance saves you a lot of things. I have a life assurance policy for my kids. On my life for my kids. My both cars are insured. One is a third-party insurance, which has a lot of cover that people don't even understand, and there is a full insurance cover on the other car that my wife drives. Because yeah, that's a more expensive car. So yes, that 1.2 million naira car is for me. Then for the chairman of the board, like Elisha calls her, the chairman of the board has a bigger car, a more status-like car. But I'm just saying that there are phases to these things, there are levels to these things. Please get insurance. Then another thing that wants to be your priority is multiple income streams. As best as possible, get a job, get an investment that pays you, have rent that you're collecting, have several sources of income. Have a number of multiple income sources. These are things that you want to focus your resources on, your attention on. I'll go over them again. So financial education, planning. There's need to financially plan for your finances. Then you need to earn money. Okay, take it easy on yourself. Then you have getting out of debt. Don't borrow to fund a lifestyle that is not up to you. Don't do that. Don't borrow to fund a lifestyle. Get insurance. Please get insurance. Get a life insurance if you've got kids and it's important to you. Saving is also a priority that you must have. Then multiple streams of income is a must if you're going to do well. All right, so let's go now to process. Elisha, are you still there? Where is Fee? So we've dragged a lot of these matters. So let's go to process. But are we doing good so far?
Yes, we are, sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes, we're good.
Good to know.
He is the moderator, so
Okay,
he'll be
process.
answering.
How? Okay. Well, okay. Our problem child did not come today. All right, so let's go to process. How does a person make money? How does a person? Yeah, Fee, keep the view like this. I like to see you and him together. Just keep the view like this. It works for me. Thanks.
All right.
So how does the person make money? What is the process by which a person can make money? I've already given out an avenue to it. I've said that, but you have to mute your microphone, Fee.
Okay. All right.
Great. But let me be seeing your both faces. Thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. So, how does a person make money? Like I have said, go out for financial education. Create a plan of how you want to make the money. When you go out for financial education, you'll find a few things. First, you'll find what is called vehicles of wealth. Some people call them mountains of wealth. Some people call them wealth pathways. I like to use vehicles and pathways because they explain it better. So let me start with pathways to wealth or pathways to making money. You know, scripture says, wide is the way that leads to perdition, narrow is the way that leads to heaven. I hope that I did not misquote it. Okay. Elisha, stop shaking your head. You know, you're the one who's the pastor. Behave yourself there. So, there are pathways to wealth. There are ways by which, if you get on that journey, you will make money. Number one, there's the stock market, the generic stock market that everybody knows. There's real estate. You have businesses. Or what some people call entrepreneurship. Then you have internet. This, from study over the years, are the pathway by which a person can drive to wealth. Now, there are vehicles that you can drive on these pathways. Let me start with the stock market, for example. There are several instruments in the stock market, several shares, or what people call equities, bonds, debentures, several instruments. Some are slow, some are very fast. And to be able to drive in each of these pathways, you need to understand risk, your level of risk. Risk and returns go together. Risk and income go together. Now, Elisha, over the years, there is a common knowledge. The common knowledge is the higher the risk, the higher the returns. The lower the risk, the lower the returns. But there is an uncommon approach to this. It is possible to have a low risk investment that has high returns. Crazy stuff. It is possible to have a low risk investment that has high returns. You cannot find that out at the mundane level of investing. You would have played the game of investing in whatever field you choose for a long time. You know the intricacies before you are able to either be a part or float a low risk, high return investment. Take, for example, real estate again. In the real estate pathway, real estate involves the purchase of fixed assets, especially landed properties, buildings, land and buildings, and this kind of fixed assets. Now, there are several kinds of fixed assets. You have commercial properties, you have residential properties, you have lands, you have commercial land, you have residential land. So there is different instruments in this market. Which would you be focused on? Where would you play in? I can't begin to make those recommendations now because this is a large audience. Several people are in the game. But I'm saying that your money can come from any of this. There is businesses. Hey, yeah. This is the one we call entrepreneurship. This is the one I'm most passionate about because this one doesn't have entry barrier. The stock market, for example, there are certain investments that you're not permitted to go into if you don't have certain amounts of money. But you see, anybody can start a business who has the entrepreneurial makeup. Now you can start a business in several industries. Telecoms, oil and gas, water, food, agriculture, extractives, energy. It's a wide spectrum. And in businesses, a person can start where they are. With business, you can start. Elisha, do you know that I can start I can start an oil and gas business with 5,000? An oil and gas business, I can start it with 5,000. Let me show you how. Do they sell 5,000 worth of kerosene? That's all. I go and buy the 5,000 worth of kerosene and go and look for who needs it, make a margin, and go back and buy it again. The issue is not capital. The issue is the entrepreneurial mindset. So I buy the kerosene, I sell. I go back again, I buy. I'm making profits. And it's growing. Because I'm committed to it. Before long, I have a community kerosene distributorship. Before long, I'm probably buying tankers. First drums, then tankers, because I'm committed to it. I'm learning about it. My brain is all stuck in there. When you call me, you ask me who am I? I say I'm the kerosene boy. Who says that you have to have billions of naira before you go into oil and gas, really? You can play from where you are, really. You can. It was a mindset that helped us create Brass and Books. It was a mindset that helped us create Brass and Books. Because I was told that, okay, you need certain licenses. And I kept digging. Is there a way to enter this market? Is there a way to enter this game? If you dig very well, there's an entry point into every business. If you dig very well, if you have the commitment, if you have the courage, and you have the patience, and you have the knowledge, there's an entry point into every business. Every single business. Do you want to own a refinery tomorrow? You can start somewhere. There are countries where they allow modular refineries, which means smaller versions of the big refineries. I was reading a report today about how the refineries in Nigeria cost us 90 billion in losses every year. They don't do nothing, but they have over the refinery in Kaduna alone has 800 workers. An average of 10 million is paid to that person, to these workers every year. That's another day's matter. So I'm saying that if your method is going into business, there's a route there. And you can enter using any vehicle. You can enter using a Volkswagen Beetle kind of vehicle, or you can use a sports car kind of vehicle. It depends. In the stock market, bonds are very slow. You don't make profits for them. The returns, your returns will determine your speed. Now, if there's any wealth vehicle or pathway that can make you wealth in a short time, I know 2. In fact, 3 now. The internet makes crazy money these days. It is the fastest to be wealthy in. Real estate is terrific. Businesses are very slow. If I spent the amount of time that I have spent in learning about businesses and building businesses, if I spend that amount of time and energy on the internet as a wealth pathway, I will be way, way wealthier than I am now, because I'm a very determined, focused, passionate person. So I can stay on one thing for a long time. If I stayed like that on the internet, for example, I probably would have been all smokes now. But the reason why I chose businesses and financial services particularly is because that is where my money is. That is what I'm most passionate about. I am not passionate about internet businesses. I'm not passionate about the internet model. This one, I don't care if it takes me 10 years, 20 years to make 20 million from it. I'm going to stay here. This is where I love. This is what I know. Wake me up. I'll be talking to you about money, about starting businesses and creating them and building them. This is what I do, entrepreneurship. The internet has several ways to go by it. If you start a social media marketing agency, for example, something like John Obidi does, there's mad money right there. If you focus on coding, amazing. If you focus on content creation, terrific. The very popular ones, cryptocurrency. Trading cryptocurrency is mad stuff. Forex is popular, but the guys who really make the money are the guys who understand how it works. All these places will make you money. There's money where you want it to be. If you say you want to play real estate, okay, stay as a realtor, which is the very basic entry point. As a realtor, you're an agent. Somebody has land, he wants to sell, you look for a buyer, bam, you're in the game. And because the prices in real estate are usually huge amount of monies, you can become a millionaire in 90 days or less. Real estate is, for me, the fastest place to become a millionaire. Just look for somebody who has a house and find the person to buy it in the next 3 months. When you make a commission of 5%, 10% or less, you're in a millionaire already. So when you hear somebody say, "Oh, you can make," I made my first million in 90 days, it's very doable. Not everybody is doing jobs to make money. No, it's just the understanding of what vehicles work and what does not work. So this is the process. Choose your wealth vehicle. Choose it based on your passion. Choose it based on what you're familiar with. Elisha, I checked out John Obidi. I keep talking about him because I was very impressed by his lessons. And I realized that man has spent time coding and learning ICT things his whole life. If you talk to me about pips and those kind of things, I would not understand it. I tried Forex, dude. As a banker, I tried to learn Forex. Shit didn't work for me. It made me feel like I was a dummy. It made me feel like I was a dummy. I spent some time trying to learn social media marketing, but I wasn't passionate about it. Because interest and passion are two different things. Your interest can be aroused, but your passion will not let you sleep at night. Your interest can be aroused, but your passion will be moving you. Go for that thing that you are mad about. I looked at the agricultural space. The one that I was most interested in was palm oil. That's why we started the palm oil mill, blood. Because today, if we check well, you have shop palm oil. That's the reason why I'm passionate about it. If we check well, there's been palm oil in your food, all of you. If not palm oil, there's been some form of oil in your food. So choose a wealth vehicle that you are passionate about. I'm passionate about building businesses, selling them. I'm passionate about the finances of them. Yeah, Michael, there's one more. Internet, real estate, businesses, and the stock market. There are people who make mad money. There's some people who made money in the stock market during this COVID. Oh. Try. Choose your wealth vehicle and stay there. Study it, earn, plan, and begin to invest. Love what you do. Do it with a passion. And hey, for you younger people, pay attention to the internet. They asked Aliko Dangote in one interview, they asked him, they said, sir, if you will start again, which wealth vehicles will you choose now? And he said two things: technology and agriculture. So again, that brings us to tech and the internet. If it's possible for you to fall in love with technology, if you have it in you, there's money to be made. Stop jumping around. Just focus on how to make money from the wealth vehicle that you have chosen. Some will take longer time than some others, but eventually we'll all be fine if you choose the one that is yours. I have chosen to start businesses, create businesses, sell them, sell shares, sell units of the businesses. I'm somebody who is a business builder. I see opportunities, I create businesses around them, and I move on. So choose your wealth vehicle that is good for you and begin to invest time and money in creating value. Somebody asked me in one interview about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, they said, Mr. King, please define money for us, but not economics definition. And I said, money is value. The reason why money looks for you is because there is value in you. Money comes to get the value out of you. So if you put value inside of you, money will come to look for you. Money will dance to you like a snake crawls on the ground to go and look for who to devour. Money would look for you if you soak value in. Then soaking value is one thing. Understanding how to sell that value is the game changer. What have you got in you? What are you passionate about? So my game changed when people realized that, hey, this guy knows about investing. I've never heard anybody talk about money like this guy. I better give him my money to take and handle for me. So we have state governments who invest with us. We have large organizations, corporate bodies who invest with us because they've come to trust the value of the content that I carry. Can you be the best performer in that wealth vehicle that you have chosen? If you choose real estate, can your real estate company be the trusted name in providing utility for people? If you choose a business, like Nonelli, my sister makes cakes. If you have the best cakes in the market, if you have the nicest attitude, and you let the people know, you will get money. Money is a consequence. Always remember that. So choose your wealth vehicle and begin to engage the market in that place. Begin to grow your capacity. Let me say to you quickly, every form of investing is an investment into a business. Facebook is an internet business, right? It is a business. Shell, they do oil and gas, it is a business. All the shares and the bonds that are bought in the stock market are created by business. So the background for every form of investing whatsoever, if we say investing is the route by which people make money, every business, every wealth created is created using the vehicle of a business. It's the reason why I love businesses. It's because all investing is done into a business. We say you are investing if you put your money in another person's business. We say you are entrepreneuring if you put your money in your own business. Eventually, in all these cases, somebody has to build an asset, a business for other people to put money into. It's amazing that if you want money, you must master businesses. You can stay as a realtor, for example, but there are certain games you can't play as an individual realtor. You need to be a business that other people can buy into. Subsequently, I'll come into the group and I'll teach you people about leverage. How to use other people's ideas, other people's monies, other people's time, all the OP things, OPT, OPM, how to use those other people's, how to play the leverage game. I sit here and my money is working for me. I sit here and I have over 30 people who are carrying the name, brass, and books around town. I created the asset. The asset is leveraged across several locations and countries. You've got to grow your craft from not just you. You've got to have your name talking for you. You've got to have your money talking for you. You've got to have people screaming your name. The name of business is leverage. Who's on your case talking to you? Who's on your case talking for you? Who is talking about you? Are there conversations about you, about your product going on in nations you don't know? Until then, you can't really play the game. Okay, who's using your product? Who's using your service at the moment? Quickly, your expense is another person's income. If you remember that, life is a lot easier. Your expense is an income for somebody else. Every time you make an expense, somebody else is getting wealthier. So who is making you wealthier? So guys, choose what your wealth vehicle will be. What business would you start? What investment would you go into? There's no law that says that you should be the one to do the investment too. There's no law that says that you must all start businesses. No, like I said, I have money in all of these markets working. I have real estate. I have a real estate portfolio. I have a stock market portfolio. Yes, I build businesses. I don't even run all the businesses. Every of our business has its own manager. I just lead. One of our business is a social media marketing agency, Spikes Media. So you might not be the one in those businesses directly, but let your money leverage. The way to play the game, if you're not playing it directly, is let your assets be working for you. Let your money work for you, but ensure that your money is working in different industries. And finally, so that we don't belabor these thoughts too much, progress. You've got to make progress in your finances. You've got to measure the progress of your finances. You've got to ensure that you're growing in your financial assets every day. You've got to make progress on a daily basis. My friend Victor Haruna quotes the Bible verse that says, "Give us this day our daily bread," which means there's got to be some daily progress. Is your money growing daily? If your money is not growing daily, is your sense growing daily? Your sense will be equally proportional to the money that you have. Your net worth is a direct picture, is directly proportional to your mental, financial capacity. So are you making progress daily? Are you measuring it? Your financial goals can be measured. One of the reasons why I love business is because I can measure my income on a daily. I hate to wait for 30 days before I understand what is happening to my money. 30 days is too long a time before I know what's happening to my money. I like my money to grow every day. So I have investments that grow, that pay monies daily. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us this day our daily sense. Give us this day our daily mental growth. When you measure a thing, it grows. So measure your money, measure your progress, ensure that you're making progress. When you have made progress to a certain point, it will affect your purpose. There's a certain level you get in your finances, money is no more the issue. Financial education becomes more pressing. Guys, calm down, guys, calm down. There's going to be a time in your life you will never bother about what to eat. Guys, calm down. There's going to be a time in your season, you will make enough progress in your season such that you never have to think about the next meal or the next school fees. That season is coming. But you have to be working progressively. So make progress. Make progress in your assets. The choice of Elisha Mamman in my corner is a progressive move. Trust me, Paddy, there are some people who cannot stay in your corner after a while. I hate that somebody leaves me behind because I'm too broke. And he says I have to move to the level. No, I don't like that. That's why I'm always growing this sense. So I hate that somebody will say, Solomon, so I had this 50 billion, but I couldn't talk about it because you don't handle 50 billion and above transactions. Okay, I don't do any transaction. There are certain people that cannot talk to you because you can't handle the kind of monies that they are talking about. So you need to keep upgrading. You need to keep making progress in your knowledge. So there's SS2 knowledge. There's professorial knowledge in every place that you're playing. There are certain transactions that will not come to you because you're not ready for them yet. So when you make progress to a certain level, it will alter your purpose. And then you're back at where you started from, purpose again. and you keep going. When you check after a while, you'll realize that, yeah, you may have started with 50 naira, but now you're at 200 naira. Now you're at 2 million. Elisha, there was a time when my offering was 50 naira every Sunday.
Fee, what's happening?
Hello, all right. So I'm trying to check for. There seems to be a technical glitch from his end, so I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to chat him privately. You have to know what's happening. Yes.
Okay.
So it's a technical glitch.
For those of you watching, we apologize. There's just a little technical problem, but Fee is going to fix it right now. We're actually coming to an end. We took this much time because this is an issue you must truly pay attention to. When money is your problem, a lot of things will become a problem. And I don't want anybody in my community to have money problems. I want money not to be a problem in our circle, in our company, and in our community. We have to become people that are financially independent. It does not matter how long it takes, but I want us to make significant progress in our life. And so it is very, very, very important what we are doing here tonight. So I apologize for the time. It is not intentional, but the content is necessary. You know, something here caught my attention, and they said interest is not passion. But my brother, the day your interest aligns with your passion, you will explode. And that's why discovering yourself, know truly what is your own. That is why those things are very key. Solomon King is back. Awesome. So let him conclude for us.
Okay, so I was just telling the story. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I was just telling the story that so my offering grew from 50 naira to 100 naira, and I heard Holy Ghost say to me, "This 100 naira will never reach you." Then it grew from there to 200, and at some point I stretched again to 500. Every service, if there's a church service, if I'm going to be with God, I created that amount of money. Then it became 1,000 naira, Elisha. And at the 1,000 naira, I thought, oh, this was really great. Then it moved to 5,000 naira. Every service, as in if I show up in church, this is just normal. Now I don't do 5,000 anymore. I don't even do 10,000 anymore. I'm saying that you've got to be growing. You've got to be measuring your growth. You've got to have that understanding that money was a commodity that human beings created. You can't serve money. You've got to master it. It's got to answer you. You've got to call it what it is. You can't work for money. Money should work for you. These are my thoughts on the anatomy of money. We've had a long class. We've had a long class.
Yes,
it will not be good to stretch it too much.
It's the longest we have had. But what can we do when we invited a king to come and speak?
About his
What can we do about it?
About his subject.
the matter when we brought a king into the house. We have to agree. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it is a very valuable 2 hours for me. And most importantly, the most exciting point for me is when he said he would like to come back and teach us on leverage. And so if you are happy about that, you can go to the chat section and clap for him, because I'm going to start designing the flyer for him to come back and teach us on leverage.
Not so soon, Elisha.
Eh?
Not so soon,
That's
Elisha.
the highlight of tonight. What?
Not so soon. Let's wait small.
I will prepare flyer. You will keep it till that time. I need to tie you down. Ladies and gentlemen, it was amazing having Solomon King in the house. It is fantastic. I was speaking with him 3 days ago, and I told him, and I said, it is a glorious thing to have somebody like him in my corner. And it's awesome for you to know that your circle is not your corner. And I was using boxing to explain it to him. You see, when a boxer is coming to the ring, many people follow him, but only a few are in the corner. They are the ones he has to hear. They are the ones that clean him. They are the ones that say the next thing to do. Not everybody can tell him what to do, because many people there don't even know what to do. They only came to clap. And there are too many of us. We are busy developing the skill of clapping for successful people. We are developing a skill. I know celebrating successful people is good, but I am saying it is not a skill you should learn at the expense of you becoming a success yourself. Everything somebody has, you can have. Everything we have become, you can become, and even more. And so, I want you to know that tonight has been very, very fantastic. I intend that I will maximize this platform as much as I can to bring solid content, rich wisdom, and clear lifestyle to be evident before you guys. My intention is that you will have a balanced diet of knowledge, so that you will be mentally renewed for excellence. Look, I will say this as I close. We were not born here. We got here.
Yes.
We traveled to this place.
Elisha, let me cut you. Let me cut you briefly.
Yes, sir.
Guys.
Yes, sir.
Guys, so my parents are not rich. Everything I got from the market. I built our businesses, our companies from absolutely 0 naira. Everything that I have said to you now are things that I did. No stories, no jokes. The first 200,000 naira investor to the first 500,000 naira investor to when we crossed to 1 million. Elisha, when we got the first 500,000, my wife and I hugged each other and we cried. We did not believe that we could be believed. We never thought that it was possible for us to have our own investment company. Now, this is 1 billion naira later. So we're not talking about things that we read.
Let me say something to you, sir. There's something you did here that the next time I take you to Dubai, I'll buy you a t-shirt for.
Please come and take me to Dubai, Mikono.
We are going later. We plan and now we will go later. No be
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
It's not a plan. It's not a plan. It's an expense.
It's something that is sorted.
We just. Do you know? I have been teaching my people and I've been encouraging my people to never belittle a job.
Yes, sir.
We are in a generation where charlatans will come and tell you that a job can never make you rich. Let me say this and let me say it very, very clearly. That thing sounds so true, but it is not the truth.
It's not.
There are people who became wealthy via a job.
Yes.
All they
Absolutely.
knew to do was they
Was
had
work.
the process number one. They had education. So they knew what to do with their salaries.
Yes, sir.
And one of that person is Elisha Mamman. It was my ability to engage salary that built my life.
Yes, sir.
It is so amazing for you to know that I didn't even know the system Solomon King has. But it made me so happy that his 4 pathways I have engaged before. But where did I get the money to start? Salary.
I was on a job. I was on a job.
A job.
I was on
My
a job.
first job paid me 35,000 naira. I don't live in a house times 100 of that. 35,000. I would need it for 100. It will be a lot of years. What are we saying to you? You too can be rich. I have
Yes,
a
sir.
book by that person.
Yes, sir.
You too can be rich. You can master money like Solomon King. You can understand vehicles like Solomon King. You can build a platform and generate income like John Obidi.
Yes, sir.
We are not spirits. We are men. Even though God has helped us, but we are men of ridiculous focus. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to say to you that because you are here tonight, you should be comforted with one reality, that you can be rich, not in the life to come, but in this life. You can have a good life. You can have a life that is filled with both pleasure, excitement, and purpose. I close by saying this. Peradventure, you carry a perspective that if you have too much money, you must be evil. It is because you are evil. That's why you are thinking like that. Money is not what makes people evil. Money amplifies the evil.
Money amplifies the character of a man.
Because money is a reflection of the man. Money is like a chameleon. Any environment, it takes the environment. So if money enters the hand of Pablo Escobar, he will do amazing evil.
They will do
If
drugs.
money is in the hand of a Bill Gates, he will give millions of dollars for malaria. Ladies and gentlemen, our time is far, far, far spent. This is the first time we exceeded the 2 hours. Our longest has been 1 hour, 12, 15 minutes thereabout. But I have no regrets for tonight, because it is worth my time. And if it is worth my time in this level, it should be worth your time and worth much, much more of your time. Solomon, Money King, Blood, you know I love you so much.
I love you too. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
We value you so much, and we look forward to. Before I go, I need you to know that You can go to the website elishamamman.com and go to the shop. There is a book there called You Too Can Be Rich. I will also let you know that Solomon King has several books that he is going to give us all relevant information for those books. And we are going to put those books in our communities. I challenge you to get those books. I challenge you to get those books. He released a new book during the COVID-19 called The Cobbler Who Has No Shoes. Amazing book.
So
amazing book.
So 200K in a month.
Awesome. Amazing book. So you have to look forward to amazing. You have to look forward for that book and then get it. You can go get my book. You can do that. I have a money class online, but it is closed until September cohort. It is closed for now. I'm tired. I don't want more money. Based on that class, I'm okay for now. Till September. It is an online class. It's a money class. Solomon King spoke to us about education as the first most important place to begin your journey for wealth. You heard him talk about excess money. And if there is no education, there is going to be a spiral downward for you. And so, as long as you're in this community, look out for it. You will see those information. Heaven, Mona, thank you so much. I enjoy listening to you also in your group and in your community. You are a young, rich ruler of your own. You have blessed me so much. Thank you for as many of you that have stayed with us. Thank you so much. We love you so much and we appreciate you. We look forward to having you next Wednesday for another episode of Wednesday Live with Elisha Mamman. We are bringing somebody special again. This time we are going to leave money. We are going to enter the realm of relationships. And so I want you to prepare yourself. We are bringing someone to teach us on relationships, how we can make our relationships important. We know relationships are also vehicles that require investments. If you want to understand leverage, you must first understand relationship. You can't understand leverage if you don't understand relationship. I don't give my money to idiots. Solomon King does not invest in nothing rubbish. So you need to know that. So I beg you, Wednesday next week, we're going to be back here live. And Monday live is still active. We're bringing somebody else to share with us. Like I said, for the next 3 months, I'm going to feed you well. You are going to eat good food, balanced diet. Thank you so much.
Elijah, are you running a restaurant?
This is a mental restaurant. 5-star.
Okay.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for giving us 2 hours of your time. I love you so much. Thank you very much. Fee Stevens. Fee Stevens.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm here, sir.
You are not there. You are trying to do your things in the background. Is it not you? You are sending program.
I'm making sure everything is fine, sir, at the back end.
Okay. Is there anything I need to add?
No, we're good, sir. We're good, sir.
All right. Before I close, I need you to understand something. Fee Stevens run the winning mindset. Fee Stevens is a 23-4-year-old boy, but he's running one of the biggest motivational platforms. That speaks volume for the kind of person he is. In 3 years, I have watched Fee grow. Not just grow, but Fee has improved from income to influence to impact. Why am I telling you this? Fee is running an online program, 2 different courses. One is for website design. If you don't know, he designed my website and many other websites. I knew the day he began to learn how to design websites. And then he has what we call digital productivity course. I can guarantee that after attending Stephen's class, you will have improved in being somebody, both in how you use your gadgets, your phones, your laptops, and how you improve your person. And so he is going to put a link for you to be able to access that course. I am begging you, leverage on it. Leverage on it. Leverage on it. When I come back next Wednesday, I'm going to talk about another course of another son that is doing amazing well. And that skill is relevant for today. And so I thank you all for being here tonight. He said there is nothing more, but we look forward to the winning mindset of July. Information will be coming out to you soon. Thank you so very much for everything tonight. Sorry for the time, but the time is worth it. We love you all and have a fantastic good night. Solomon King, don't go anywhere.